Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I recently put out a video discussing my experience with using xylitol as part of my oral health care routine over the past 9 months. And one of the questions that I got asked the most by far was, how do I use xylitol granules? So today I wanted to do a quick review on how I use xylitol granules as part of my oral health care routine. I did do a video previously on this topic, but my routine with using the granules has changed since then. So I thought that with all of the new subscribers to the channel and the questions about how I incorporate xylitol granules, this would be a nice time to update how I personally use them. Now, this is a good time to remind you that I am not a dentist. I am not a dental professional. And so this is just my take on how I personally use xylitol granules and incorporate them into my daily oral health routine. Please take time to do your own research, form your own opinions, and pick products and routines that work best for you and your lifestyle. I typically use xylitol granules or xylitol sugar or xylitol crystals, however you want to refer to it, 2 times a day. And for me, that's typically in the morning and then again at bedtime. And then in addition to using the granules, I do also use xylitol mints several times a day. And that works well for me to do sort of that hybrid schedule of things. But to review, most experts, including Dr. Ellie, say to get about 6 to 10 grams of xylitol in per day, and you want to spread that out over 5 or more exposures or doses per day. And the way I do it is in the morning, after meals and snacks, and at bedtime. Getting your xylitol in granular form can be a great option for several reasons. One, it's typically much more affordable than mints and gum. 2, the granules seem to be more widely available in more areas of the world. So for some people, they cannot find the mints and gum, but they can find the granules. And then finally, number 3, with granules, you do have more of an option of spitting them out after you're done, which is a great thing for people like myself who sometimes have a little bit of GI symptoms with taking xylitol. For today's demonstration, I am using the brand HealthGarden, which is a birch-based xylitol product. I have also in the past used the brand NOWFoods, which is also, in my opinion, a great option. That is an organic, non-GMO, corn-based xylitol product. For me, when I'm taking my granular xylitol dose, I typically stick to about 2 grams of xylitol. So you're going to want to always check your own bag and make sure that it's accurate, that you're getting the amount of xylitol that you're intending to get. But I do think the conversion rate is pretty uniform, but again, always double check. Every bag I've gotten, it has been this way, and the conversion is typically 4 grams of xylitol is in 1 teaspoon of the granular xylitol. So if I'm taking 2 grams, I want 1/2 teaspoon. So what I do is I actually measure out a 1/2 teaspoon. Once I've measured out the amount of xylitol that I want to take, I'm going to place that directly into my mouth. I'm not dissolving it into anything. For me, I put it directly into my mouth. So the granules, the sugar goes directly in. Within almost instantaneously, the salivary pool starts and the granules begin to dissolve pretty well within 2 to 3 seconds. I then swish for 1 to 2 minutes, and then after I'm done swishing, I spit it out. All right, so let's get started. I have my bag of xylitol granules. I have my measuring spoon. This is my 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon. This is my bag, so I'm just going to go right in there. Okay, and you get your good 1/2 teaspoon of xylitol granules. I'm going to put this directly in my mouth and start swishing. as I said, after that 1 to 2 minutes, for this demonstration it was about 90 seconds, I do go ahead and spit out the saliva and xylitol granules. And you're just gonna have to take my word for it because there's no way and no how that I'm spitting on camera. So anyway, after I spit out the xylitol, I do go ahead and I don't rinse afterwards. And I do practice mouth resting after taking granular xylitol or any other form of xylitol. So that means no eating, no drinking, not even water for at least 1 hour. So anyway, I hope this helped to answer any questions that you might have had about how I personally incorporate taking xylitol granules into my daily oral health care routine. And just as a quick reminder, this is just me demonstrating what I do and what has worked for me. But I did want to go ahead and put this out there because I did have so many questions about this particular aspect of my oral health care schedule or routine. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope that you got something out of this video. If you did, please give me a like down below. Comment if you have tried using xylitol granules or if you plan to in the future. Share this with anybody in your friends or family circle that you think could benefit. And as always, if you did enjoy this video and would enjoy seeing more content from me and my family, please consider hitting the subscribe button and becoming a part of the Low Key Life family. And with that, until next time,